Well, there it is. Hi guys, and welcome to another vlog. This is where I chat about the things that are going on in Warcraft 3 related news. And this is a doozy. So, Petrov has come through once again and let me know that the Blizzard Classic Games team have managed to get rid of a couple of positions. Now, what are these positions? Well, according to one of my older videos, Senior Game Designer was the one that I covered in 26th of July this year. And they also had a position for Senior Software Engineer Anti-Cheat. That's gone. So, he would like me to talk about what I think in regards to that. That they have found someone to look into basically dealing with hackers and cheaters. Does this mean Battle.net will be playable again? It could well mean that. It's a good sign. It's a very strong step in the right direction. And if you notice in front of you on the screen right now what you're looking at, you got two new positions. Senior Software Engineer with Tools and Web Engineer Front End. They keep chugging, don't they? I mean, it was a few months ago, or a couple of months ago really, that I last did that vlog regarding the last job that they posted, which is now gone, including the anti-cheat, which is the main one. So they're getting there. We might see patch 1.27 come next year. Maybe it could be a Christmas treat. We never know. But I think they're working towards it. They just want to make sure the architecture and structure of everything is in place and everyone's sat comfortable with what they're doing, because this is an old engine and whatever they're having to do to revamp the whole thing and make it work is probably going to take a lot more work than any of us realize, which is why we've probably taken so long to this point to actually get really any news. I mean, this is where the news comes from. Thank you very much, Petrov, by the way. Is this page to some degree, because they don't tell us anything else. We don't really get any information from the forums, not really. And this is it. You just basically look at what jobs are coming and going, and that's an important one, the anti-cheat. So, right, I'll just pull up the email message. So you say, it looks like Blizzard finally found a guy that can make life difficult for hackers in Warcraft 3 because the job is no longer listed. As a tradition, please create a video and share your thoughts. Well, I think this is fantastic. So what they did is they managed to find that guy called Bill, or perhaps he was called Tony, or Bob, or Phil. Probably Phil. And this guy, like I mentioned in the last video, last vlog, I'll put it up there so you can watch it if you want to. Or one of them, whichever one, maybe both of them. Now this guy Phil, he's got a shaved head. He's not fully bald. He's still got a few specks here and there. And he's a little gruffled, he's got 5 o'clock shadow. He's had, a few rough nights sleep. So he's got baggy eyes and all that. He's not looking too good. But he gets on with his day, and his day includes beating the crap out of hackers. Phil has a crowbar in his right hand and a baseball bat in his left hand. And his knuckles have love and hate on them. And it depends on what mood Phil's feeling. It depends which knuckle he's going to hit you with, which fist he's going to hit you with, be it love or hate. Perhaps both at the same time. A love-hate relationship. That's what I have with hackers. In fact, just pure hate, really. Let's face it, where's the love come from with hackers? Apart from the sheer humor of them hacking in the first place. Like, why are you hacking at all? And in such an old game where it really doesn't matter at all what's going on in your life, and how small are things down there. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a hyper mood today, so I'm quite happy. As you can tell, I'm not editing any of this. This is just fly off the wall. Let me know what you think if you prefer sort of more professional edited video, which I did last time. Took an eternity, which is partly why I'm not editing this time, because I'm a bit lazy. Or more off the cuff, where I could potentially ramble a lot more, which could be a problem, because I do tend to ramble. But getting down to brass tacks business here, this is very good news, because hackers are a huge problem right now in Warcraft 3. Well, I say right now, they've always been a problem, but let's face it, the older the game gets, the longer in the tooth it gets, the more people get on board the hacking train, because the less punishment that there is. The first couple are like, oh look, we can get away with hacking here, more people get on board. And then if everyone's bloody hacking, or enough people are hacking, You know, it doesn't take, you know, a rocket scientist to work out that pretty much even little Timmy, the 12-year-old kid who got Warcraft free from his dad, who was too lazy to buy him the latest game. I think I used that before. But even he's like, oh, I lost a game. How do I win? I need to win. Cheats don't work. They only work in single player. How else can I cheat? Oh, you can hack? That's a cheat. How do you do that? And then they just look it up and boom, there it is. It's really easy to find it. I'm not going to give you any tips on how to do it. Besides, if you're the kind of person who does that, you probably already know how to do it anyway. So, little Timmy, he's a troublemaker. And he causes more trouble because he influences other people to hack, because he goes and screws over one person that notices that he's hacking, so then that person goes and decides to get hacked themselves, and it just goes on and on and on. So, yes, please deal with these hackers, and maybe I'm a little bit extreme in my methods with potentially cutting off potential limbs that could be useful for their life and day-to-day purposes. That might be a little bit strong, but perhaps we could just put in a decent program that would actually prevent the hack, or at least punish the hacker very shortly afterwards, or within the same time the game is even being played. How amazing would that be? Like, as soon as he turns the hack on, or the computer detects that the hack went off in the game, which you've seen a program that I've used previously, which ironically is a hack, but I don't use it anymore. But it was called Maphack Detector. It would let you know, it would ping to you when someone else was clicking on something they couldn't see, aka Maphack. There was a very small chance that it could be a mistake, but there's a lot of telltale signs that you can use to detect whether it was a mistake. And you know when it's not a mistake is when they click on your altar within the first minute of the game. That is impossible to do. You cannot scout someone's altar that fast in the game, especially when they don't even send anything to scout, and then you get this message saying so-and-so has clicked on your altar, so-and-so has clicked on your barracks, so-and-so has clicked on your town hall. Okay, that's a bit suspicious, I think. Yeah, so if you could have some sort of program that would just kick them out instantly or just ban their IP, that would be great. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I'd love to know what you guys think as to what this could really mean, what methods they could use to actually really deal with hackers, because let's face it, hackers tend to find a way around the solution a lot of the time, and you bring out the next sort of patch, and then that gets sort of hacked, and then the next patch to deal with the hackers. And that it's a catch-up method that doesn't really ever pay off. So I wonder if we can get to a state in the future where we can have this almost meta/active anti-hack program that can keep up with whatever the hackers are doing. But that's obviously probably not likely to come into a Warcraft 3 game, because the reason why I say that is because it's a classics game team. It's a classic. It's not a new modern game that's going to have a huge population going into it that you would require such an investment into such a technology. So this is just me basically really being hopeful beyond belief, but maybe it's going into other theories. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about in regards to the hacking. I'm very, very happy that we're going to get that dealt with. Hopefully we don't see that job pop back up, because what that probably means is that the guy quit within the first week or two and decided, you know what, this is too hard to deal with hackers. Screw it, I'm out. And then we go and see in the Classics Games selection down here that it's available again. No. So you've been staring at this blank screen for quite a long time. So I may as well have a quick read out of what the latest Classic Games positions are before finishing off this video. So Senior Software Engineer for Tools. Blizzard, oh, we know all this stuff. They're like, well, we are Blizzard, and we love people to be great on our team. So would you like to do? Okay, I will read it out. Fair enough. Blizzard Entertainment is seeking an enthusiastic programmer to join the Classic Games team. They will empower the team with new and powerful tools, working on build systems, asset pipelines, deployment apps, and developer workflows. The ideal candidate will be self-driven and a strong problem solver with a passion for learning new systems and improving old ones. Yep, that really does relate back to Warcraft 3. It's interesting note there, deployment apps. I'm not sure what the deployment part means. I understand the apps. Deployment, making it go through. Happening, patch, words. I don't know. This is where you guys are coming far more handy than me, because I'm a dumbass. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just reading this out on the screen. So responsibilities are maintain build systems for performance, stability, and error-free operation, design and implement development tools for all disciplines, and identify and resolve pipeline issues and discover opportunities for improvement. I don't know if we ever heard anything back. I mean, anything more back recently. You remember that? I feel, wasn't there a team or something like that went over to Blizzard to talk about sort of like how... I know there was one for World of Warcraft, but I can't remember if it happened for Warcraft 3 as well, whether they invited anyone over to Warcraft 3 to help work on their systems. But it makes me wonder in regards to getting people on that. But let's have a look at the other position. Feel free to write in the comment section below what you think about either of these two positions, and of course the anti-map pack. And if you're enjoying this video, then make sure to like the video as well. It goes a long way to helping me know whether it's something you want to see more in the future. And also put a comment down as to whether you want to see more off-the-cuff rambling, which is why I'm going on so long, and this video would have ended about 5 minutes ago, or whether you want it more professionally cut. It will take me 3 hours or so to do, even if it's only 5 minutes long, and that's sometimes quick for YouTube videos. Believe me, behind the scenes, it takes a long bloody time to do all the cutting and editing. You see a 5-minute video on YouTube, that's probably taken someone a day to make. I'm not even joking with a lot of people's cases. So, web engineer, front end. I don't know what the back end's like. Ooh. Compelling stories, intense multiplayer, endless replayabilities, qualities that made StarCraft, Warcraft 3, and Diablo 2 the titans of their day. Evolving operating systems, hardware, and online services have made them more difficult to be experienced by their loyal followers or reaching a new generation. That's a very interesting note at the end there. I don't remember them saying that bit. I remember the first part. But yeah, the second sentence is the new part. Evolving operating systems, hardware, and online services have made them more difficult to be experienced by their loyal followers, that's you and me, or reaching a new generation. That's little Timmy. So, this is, I mean, I'll read the rest of it in a moment, but that's a clear big sign that that's like Battle.net 2.0 or perhaps Battle.net 3.0, Blizzard Tech 1.47. I don't know, because that clearly seems like they want to make it accessible. And how do you do that in this day and age? Well, you make it Windows 10 operable, which they kind of did in the last patch, and that was about it. They did it for Macs as well. I think they improved it for Macs, or maybe they never did. Goodness me, I can't remember. But they really want to put it out there and make it so that you can come back to it. So you'd figure it would be on the Blizzard Battle.net app, which is the little bit of software that you have where you can play World of Warcraft on it, or Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, anything basically that Blizzard have created. So you should be able to see. We've talked about this before, so this is just kind of confirming that, I suppose. But if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. We're restoring them to the glory, and we need your engineering talents, your passion, and your ability to get the tough jobs done. So if you like wearing many hats, know small teams are most effective, and look forward to challenges that will create millions of new adventures for our players. What? Millions of new adventures? That's confusing. We would love to hear from you. So they're going to be working on millions of new adventures. So they're going to have So some of those millions of things are going to be custom games, Hearthstone adventures, expansions, Diablo 2 expansions. Now, of course, I'm only joking here. That's just the way it's weirdly phrased. Create millions of new adventures. I figured they would just say create millions of new players, but then that's also very cocky, thinking that we could get millions of new people back into like the old school games, Diablo, StarCraft, and Warcraft 3. Could you imagine that? It's like, what, 2,000 people or something like that normally, if that? And then it just suddenly shoots up to 1 million people online and all the channels are full. That would be amazing. Again, I'm going sort of like preferring the very positive aspect of things. Who knows, really? I think that's just throwaway words, really, more than anything, and I just like to make more of it than it is. Responsibilities: design and implement web interfaces for seamless user experience, own implementation and curation of features, enable classic team to be on the bleeding edge. Ooh. Not cutting edge, bleeding edge. That's a bit savage, but I'm okay with that. I guess that's Blizzard phrasing. So they want to be top of the line, the latest greatest deal, and they want to be able to access everyone. So this is really good news. Like, this sounds fantastic. I mean, these very big words, but that sounds like they want to get all of their properties out there. I mean, they've done that with Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, and maybe it's because they've sold so many copies of those. I know they're free-to-play games, but by sold, I mean the free-to-play aspects of it, or buying merchandise. Now that makes me really think of whether they're going to start putting cosmetics into Warcraft 3 and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine. You'd think if they were going to do a high HD remake of Warcraft 3, that's when they might do it. If they managed to make a proper HD remake of Warcraft 3, where they actually made a substantial difference to the graphics, that they could probably get away with doing cosmetics. Because the reason I say that is you might say, well, why would anyone do that? Warcraft 3 is an old game. But it's an old game that can essentially be a new game, because there's no game that's like Warcraft 3 with the heroes. You have MOBAs, basically. That's what's the closest you got. You don't have an RTS that is like it. And MOBAs do really bloody well at selling skins, models, hats. So it seems unlikely they would revamp Warcraft 3, but perhaps if Warcraft 3 is going to make a comeback? Warcraft 4... Man, there's a lot to think about with this kind of stuff. Maybe I'm going off on too much, but that'll do it really for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, make sure to thumbs up the video and share it with others if you think they might enjoy my ramblings as to the potential of Warcraft 3 and what we can expect with future jobs coming and going. It's good. It's good stuff. I've enjoyed myself here, and hopefully you have too. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below regarding the anti-map hack job going. So anti-cheat job going, really. It's not anti-map hack, it's anti-cheat full stop, disc hack, map hack, whatever it might be. Anything that interferes with the natural play of the game. So that's gone. Someone's taken that. We don't see it up here. I'll refresh the page for you if you want. But we don't see it here. Nah, it's gone. Hang on a second, what? Where'd all the jobs go? That can't be right. Hang on, Classic Games team. As I was talking, both those jobs got taken up. No, there we go. They're both still there. I'll have to keep an eye on them. Save that to my favourites. Get that done. Boom. Right, thanks again for watching. Take care. I'll see you later.